Welcome back to another episode of Jason's Life in 5, and good morning from Copenhagen. It is, I think, 6 a.m. I have just landed, had an overnight flight from New York, JFK, and today is Friday, April 10th, and we are going to have some fun in Europe. I have a friend actually meeting me here, and we are going to not stay in Copenhagen very long. We're actually going to drive straight out to a town called BIllund. I would have flown into there, except fares didn't work out that well. But anyways, we're going to go out there because BIllund is the headquarters of the Lego company and the original Legoland. So we're going to spend the day, go check out some Lego stuff, and then we're going to work our way down to Germany. I think maybe tonight, but we will be here for 4 days, and I'll be leaving on Tuesday. So thanks for joining me on this trip. So it was interesting on the approach because there were clouds up above us and clouds below us, but there were no clouds where we were flying. So it was kind of an interesting approach, and you could see the sun getting ready to rise with the orange colors. It's really quite pretty. Now we're making our way to the passport control and customs, and this will be interesting because today is evidently the launch day of a new biometric screening they are doing in Europe. I've heard rumors that it could take 4 hours to get through. I really hope not, but we will see. I made it through passport control. It was not horrible. I think if I was in a larger airport, or if we weren't one of the first flights, it could have definitely been worse. But you can tell that they were still working it out. I did have to give my fingerprints and my photo. So it'll be interesting to see when I go to leave on Tuesday from Frankfurt how that's going. But we're here in Copenhagen, and I gotta get my bag and then see if I can find my friend. I have retrieved my bag and made it through the secured area, and now I'm out in, I guess, the general hall. Now I just need to find my friend, Andreas. Looks like we've got a warning about the wind. Oh, there is a tanker ship out there.
Seems to be harmless today. The wind hose is not really. Well, it's okay today.
See, we've got a couple of tanker ships out there. So we see a warning for the wind, but Andreas says it was worse yesterday. He said the car was shaking, so I'm glad we don't have that going on. There you can see the little windsock warning. I believe this is the longest bridge in Denmark, if I remember correctly. Got the little lighthouse on the hill there. It's kind of a fun little island between the bridges. And over here, the train rail seems to come and disappear. So we're wondering if it goes underneath the waterway. And there's the train.
Yeah.
We can see it.
German freight train.
It's a German freight train, okay.
Yeah. The engine's German.
Yeah, Deutschbahn. So as you go over the bridge, I went over this 3 years ago when we went out to BIllund before, and there's a little island out here, and looks like there might be inhabitants, which it would be a very interesting place to live, I think. So here we can see the railway coming over to the first part of the island, parallels with the road. So I guess there must be a tunnel, but since we drive on a car, we will not know. Oh, and there goes the train. And hey, look at that truck. So we just got off of the interstate or freeway, I don't know what the proper term is here, but we got off the highway and we saw a sign for the Hans Christian Andersen house, and I don't think it's going to be open, but I think it would be cool to go and just see it. So Andrea said, okay, so we're going to go check it out. So we're driving through Odense, trying to find the house. A little less than a mile according to the map, so we'll see what we can find. So we are driving down what appears to be a very narrow residential road. That's where the map took us, but
it's very nice.
It is very nice. But we're not sure if we're in the right place, even though the map said we arrived. We're getting a nice scenic tour of Odense. So we've made it, or at least the sign says the H.C. Andersen Hus. So Hans Christian Andersen is, of course, the famous author of all the fairy tales, The Ugly Duckling, just so many. And this is where he was born. And we didn't plan on stopping here. We just happened to see the sign and thought it would be kind of a cool place to check out. So they're not going to be open, but we're going to just take a peek and see what we can find. Well, there's stairs we can go down.
It's like a museum.
Yeah. Looks like there might be people lined up down there. We've had a break in the case. Andreas found a sign that said it was his birthplace down here, so maybe we'll see it. We can find a sign when we get there that says we got there, because that's our big problem. We don't know what we're looking for.
It's inside.
So it is inside the museum, evidently.
Oh, and here you can see the house, picture of the house.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so there it is. So here it is. There is the birthplace of Hans Christian Andersen. You can see up here, it says H.C. Andersen Hus. So we made it.
You know what?
What?
My Turkish exam was a translation, like 25 years ago, a translation of a tale of Hans Christian Andersen from the Turkish into German.
From Turkish into German? Interesting.
He never wrote in Turkish, I think. I don't know.
So someone translated it from Danish to Turkish, and then you had to translate it to German.
Yes, that was my exam.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I had a B.
Well, I would take a B. Here's a marker marking the birthplace. You can see a teddy bear up in the little rafter up there. We're just talking about what a kind of quaint, fun little place this would be to live. It's a very nice town, I guess. So we struggled to find the Hans Christian Andersen house, and now we might be struggling a little bit to find the car, but we'll get there eventually, just like we did to the house.
Yes. You're still...
This is an interesting little sculpture here in the courtyard, and we think this is progress because we remember seeing that on our way getting out of the car. Definitely a very nice town. So we are back on track from our detour and on the highway headed towards BIllund. Okay, we have arrived in BIllund. I took a nap because I haven't slept, and poor Andreas just drove, probably listening to me snore if I had to guess, but we're here. Not at all? All right, well, we have made it. And I just realized I didn't really introduce you, Andreas. We should show them so they know. So this is my friend Andreas.
Hi there.
We met via YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. And he, when I was telling him about my trip, he so kindly said, I want to join you. So we are having a great time, and we're going to continue to do that. But for now, we're going to see if we can get into Lego House. Now, some of you may ask, what is Lego House? Lego House is, I guess, a museum, interactive exhibit, something like that, that the Lego company built. I don't remember now, maybe 6 or 8 years ago is when they started it. Anyways, it's got a lot of interactive exhibits and just a lot of things. It's all centered around the Lego brick, of course, because this is the town where Lego was started and the founder's family was here. And so here it is. You can see the stacks of oversized bricks. It's very interesting architecture. When you get in there, you'll see the roof has some interesting aspects as well. But yeah, we'll go in and see what we can do. They also have some exclusive Lego you can only get here. Gotta go get our tickets. Here is our tickets. We had to buy them in advance. Hopefully the code will be used by the time this airs, because we don't want people to take a look at that.
You're first.
We're like celebrities. But this is the part, one of my favorite parts of coming. They have the molding machine, and you can actually see Lego bricks being built all the way from the, I guess, the plastic pellets they start with. They come all the way through the machine, they get injection molded, and they come all the way through to being bagged. Did you catch it?
I missed it.
You missed it. He's practicing, prepping himself, and got it.
We got it.
Did you know there's 915,103,765 different combinations of those bricks? So after entering and going up to the second floor, this is kind of the main entry point to the rest of the Lego house complex. And they have these 3 massive dinosaurs, the red, green, and yellow. And you can see, just by looking at the people around, the scale. They're really incredible builds using Lego bricks. And then the last one in yellow has some Technic bricks that make a little bit different build technique, but it's really quite an impressive facility. And they use this gallery to have some rotating displays that they change kind of throughout the years. So here you can see some examples of a few of the art pieces that just regular Lego builders have been honored to display. There's really quite a few different types, and it's really a neat thing, and they give a little plaque talking about who the creator is. Kind of a neat way to honor people using Lego. The next area is the World Explorer Showcase, and I feel this is probably the most memorable spot of Lego House for really kind of the general public. You can see this massive hill with the castle on top and the trees. There's a ski slope. There's also a cityscape and an island. and it's just full of movement, life, stories, and adventure. It's just a lot of fun to look at. You can see people just sitting there staring, pointing, talking about different things. I mean, that bridge is just incredible. The ski slope. It's just really one of those things that I think anyone that has come here will kind of take the memories of seeing that with them as they go on. And then over on the side, you can see some more storytelling. You can see like the little Indian village and some other items. You've got a cave here with a story going on inside. Over here, this is interesting because this is like an island, and it's partially made out of Duplo bricks, which are the bigger, designed for younger hands. But it's a combination of Duplo bricks with regular Lego system bricks. And then they have an amusement park area themed on one of the Lego themes that there's a big cult following of, Fabuland. And finally, there is this massive build of a metropolitan area. See the train going by. You can see, like, here's the Back to the Future courthouse. You can see Marty there. Doc Brown setting up the experiment. Got a theater. We'll go over here and take a look at the waterfront. And here is the metropolitan area on the waterfront. I think the train's about to come by here as well. And there it goes. And the lighting here is set to cycle through evening and daytime hours, so you really get the effect of the lights, you know, on the city, on the island, and before you know it, the lights come back on today. So moving on from the World Explorer area, we're in the yellow zone. I think they're all colored. But this one here, I don't think we're going to spend much time here. Some of these are definitely geared towards kids. Plus we have limited time today. But this is where you can make a little design and then they'll animate it for you with different emotions. And so that's kind of fun. Behind me is this massive Lego waterfall. It's pretty cool, multicolored. And this area, they actually are focusing on building with shapes rather than the colors. So they have a pit of all yellow bricks. And some people have built some pretty neat things and just kind of left them there. Now we are in the final section. This is the history collection. This is, for me, as an older Lego fan, this is the part that I find most entertaining. There's the history and a lot of the old sets you get to see. So this is the part I'm going to go through and check out and just kind of relive my childhood. You can see they've got this amazing build on the wall of the Lego logo, and it's out of what they call greebling. So it's a lot of random parts that make it up. We'll get a closer look so you can see it. So this room is really kind of like circular with a kind of a gallery in the middle. So as you follow it, it kind of follows the history of Lego, and it's quite interesting because Lego started making wooden toys actually, and the factory burned down a couple times, and then finally they got the idea to do plastic. I believe it was in the 50s. And so it goes through and it shows some examples of the wooden toys. It shows some examples of the original plastic molding, and then some more of the history as, you know, the sets develop. This is the time where they instituted the plastic. This was the automatic binding bricks, is what they found. It says from the late 1940s, more and more plastic toys are being produced at the factory in BIllund. Among these are boxes of automatic binding bricks, which is what Lego was originally called. Small plastic bricks in different sizes made for stacking and building structures. The bricks themselves strongly resemble today's basic Lego bricks. The dimensions are identical and the studs on top are virtually the same. This case shows some of the early examples of Lego test plastic molding, and you can see, you know, little plastic toys and some various items. Don't really look like Lego, but then up here you see really some of the early bricks, and you can see how different those look than what we have today. Here's where you get to see some of the early Lego sets from the 50s and 60s. start to see them. First they had the HO scale cars. So you would build a city and then have small matchbox style cars, I guess you might say. Similar to this. One of the interesting facts is that Lego kept trying to get into the US market and they weren't having much success. And then in the 60s they were approached by Samsonite, the luggage company, and they contracted with them to have Lego produced in America. It was actually outside of Denver, Colorado, in a place called Loveland, and they produced Lego bricks there. As we continue around the loop, you can just see lots of displays. At this point, when we get into the 70s and 80s, you start to see more similar Lego items to what we might be familiar with today. Now we're going to quickly go into the center of the history portion, because this is the part I think that is the neatest. It has all of these old Lego sets. You can see sealed boxes. I really like the Lego art, and it's interesting to see how it changes through the years. You know, this is where we're kind of in my childhood. These yellow boxes were iconic. I remember them. They've got some great builds over here. You've got Wall-E, the rocket, just a lot of fun stuff. We are done at Lego House. My wallet is done at Lego House. We're gonna take this back to the car. Then we're gonna go over and check out Legoland BIllund. This is the original Legoland amusement park. I've never been there before, so hopefully that will be an interesting experience. And maybe we'll find some food. I think we might be starting to get a little bit hungry, but we'll continue our day in BIllund. We are walking over to Legoland. It's starting to rain. Well, you can see there's the Lego headquarters. There's a big minifigure out in front. Hopefully we don't get rained out too much at the park. We have made it to Legoland BIllund. We're gonna go in for a couple of rainy hours. We think it's going to be completely empty, so we will have the park to ourselves.
People are leaving.
You can see it is not very populated right now. A lot of that's due to the weather, I believe. It's also not the peak season yet. You see lots of stores where you can buy Lego items, clothing, all kinds of things. And I'm not sure if you can go up in that tower, so let's take a look and see. We are in the park. It's been raining. I decided to get a poncho just in case it continues to rain, so I can protect the camera, etc. Andreas said we are already wet, and I said yes, but not bad. So we'll see. But yeah, let's go take a look. We're in the mini build area. This is always fun to see all the things people have built out of Lego. I just saw something up here I have to go check out. This is something I definitely identified. This is Neuschwanstein Castle up on the hill. That is the famous German castle down in Bavaria that is the basis for the Disneyland castle. And I don't even need the sign to tell me that. If you look right there, you can see it up on the hill. That is an amazing build. My wife has a small version of that, but not nearly that size. I told Andreas the one ride I want to go on for sure is this monorail. It was outside of our room when we stayed here. So we are going to go and sit in a ride. It looks like it's for little kids, so it's perfect for us.
Yes, it is.
It thinks this is going to be a tight fit
Yes,
for the two of us, and that's fine. And we are off. You can see we are so high. They all look like tiny ants down there. This is the driving school. We will not be doing that because I think you have to be little. Oh, and it looks like we will be going for quite a little while out here. Get a nice view.
What's this?
We survived the monorail. That was not a bad ride. That was a good little ride. It was kind of funny how we had to sit in there as two full-grown men, but we made it. Let's see if we can find something else fun to do. More builds, of course, because wouldn't be Legoland without builds. We are now in Ninjago Land, and we are going to go check out the Ninjago The Ride. I think this is one where you shoot at things or something, but I guess we'll see. If nothing else, we won't get rained on because it's covered. These are the cars that we'll be riding in. So that wasn't a bad ride. It's similar to the Spider-Man ride at Disney California Adventure. You just swing your arms to shoot at the bad guys on the screen. And there we are in all our glory, shooting bows, or I don't know what we were shooting, power balls.
You had the better technique. You did.
We've got the harbor on board. So we were in the Wild West, and we got chocolate Lego bricks. He has dark chocolate. I have a caramel chocolate. Oh, sorry.
No.
They're very firm. No, it's good.
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
And sometimes the dry chocolate is very, very dry. The dark chocolate.
Yeah,
This is medium.
it's okay. Looks like here we have a haunted mansion from the back and a Mount Rushmore. I had to come all the way to BIllund to see Mount Rushmore. Here it is. Lego bricks put into real rocks. Strange. Here's the front of the haunted house. It's based on a gold digger who died, evidently, and you can go in the haunted house. I don't think we're gonna have time to go in there because we only have about 30 minutes till the park closes. Looks like they have some sort of game or something back here, though, that you can do. And then over here is something that my wife would absolutely hate. There's a giant spider. We got an area built on pipe, and it looks like there might be a castle area back here. So hopefully we can get back there before it all closes. There you go. You can see the castle area there. But we have about 10 or 15 minutes till closing of the rides. See, they've got their lying. So we rode the castle ride. It was much different than the one in California. You drive through some scenes with brick-built Lego people, like life-size characters, and then you go on a little fast part at the very end, and then that's it. There wasn't a hill or much. It was just you go fast and curves, and then that's it. So, wasn't a bad ride, but it wasn't what I expected. This area is Adventureland. Looks like it's based off of the Adventures line. And that looks like it's the Technic coaster over there that I rode in California. Now this ride, the train comes by here, but this ride looks like it's a jungle safari ride. You got all these brick-built animals, including those flamingos, and the giraffe, and the rhinos. Well, we were in the big store for a while. I bought a magnet and a couple of custom minifigures. And now our day is done. Park is closed, except for the people still waiting in line to buy their stuff. And we're gonna get on the road and drive. How long are we going to drive for?
I don't know, depends where we want to go.
So we're gonna drive for, who knows, a little while longer.
2 to 3 hours.
We don't have somewhere to stay yet, so we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
Headed back over to where we parked by Lego House. We're gonna walk right up the loop here and check out the front of the Lego headquarters. We got the big fig out here. Kind of a fun thing to see. There's the big fig. You can see the other Lego elements in the building. Quite an interesting thing. We're gonna go in and get some dinner at the BIllund Grill because we are starving. So we decided to get the kebab fries. We went with the same thing. How is it?
The salad is nice.
Nice. So it was fries with donor meat and like a white sauce, kind of like a mayo, and lettuce on it. And it was good. It was certainly better than starving, we decided.
Yeah, but that, my friend, was not your final dinner kebab experience.
No, it wasn't. There was no kebab in it. It was just donor. So.
No,
We'll
the doner kebab is it's Turkish.
Yep.
And doner means it is turned.
Oh,
So
okay.
kebab is meat.
Yep.
And dönmek means to turn.
Okay.
So it's grilled while turning.
Okay. Things you know that I learned.
Yes, things you learn when you grew up in Frankfurt or Cologne.
Right here behind us, this is the Ole Kirk Christensen house. This is the founder of Lego. Looks like there's a little museum in there. However, we cannot go in because we don't have tickets and it looks like it's closed. So we're gonna go to the car and be on our way. The roads outside of BIllund are little small country roads. It's very interesting. All right, so we are in our hotel rooms. We have rooms next to each other. We found a place that's just a little ways from where we're going to be going tomorrow. We're north of Hamburg, Germany. We're in a town called Mühlbruck. I believe that's correct. And yeah, these are accommodations we were able to find. They seem to be adequate and decent for what we need. Looks like I have a twin room, even though I would just be in here by myself. I'm going to assume this is the bathroom. If I can figure out how to turn the light on. Maybe not. The switch is outside. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Maybe it's for the outlet. But I don't have anything that'll plug into that today, so I'm not worried. But you see we've got a shower. It's just fine for what I need. And then it looks like I do have a balcony. Not sure if there's a view of anything out there. Looks like it's a view of the street. Small little garden. So there we go. It was a successful day. We got to get both Legoland, BIllund, and Lego House visited. I got to spend lots of my money. And I have some stuff to bring back. I have some things that people have asked for, so, you know, it is good. And yeah, I'll just maybe show kind of some brief views of the hotel. I'm going to go for a run tonight, just get a little bit of energy out. Hopefully I can get a good night's sleep and then get on a good schedule tomorrow. I kept nodding off on the drive back here from when we were coming from up in Denmark. So hopefully tomorrow I will be more alert and can stay awake. We're going to actually go to a Lego convention tomorrow, going to Hamburg, and maybe see some other cool things along the way. There's some neat items in Hamburg, so maybe we can go and visit some of those. So that is going to do it for this episode of Jason's Life in 5. Thanks for watching and joining me on another adventure. And until next time, happy travels.